Hi, it's Fidget for Fitness. This is part 2 of video 2 of me making the gluten-free, sugar-free lasagna, which is very low carb. It probably just has a drop of carbs in it. So I'm using actually my lasagna recipe, but I did make the crepes in an earlier video from my mom's manicotti crepes, and so I made them with the almond meal flour. And now I'm just going to assemble the lasagna the way I normally do. I have a pan. I normally olive oil spray it, but white it down, but this is olive oil spray. Basically I have 3 cups of ricotta cheese. Not 3 cups, 3 of those canned. I'm adding 1 egg, which was beaten. Some chopped parsley, fresh from my garden. I'm going to add some salt and pepper, which I didn't bring over there. Some people add nutmeg. I'm a big nutmeg fan in my lasagna. Salt and pepper. And I add a ton of Locatelli cheese, although I don't have a ton, so I add as much as I think I can get away with because I want to top it with Locatelli cheese. And this is just going to be mixed, and then I'm going to layer it with the ground beef that's on the stove that I just fried up. It's ground sirloin. And I'm going to mix this with the polio mozzarella cheese that I just shredded. And then I'm going to layer it with these crepes that I actually made, and we'll see how it comes out. I think it'll be excellent because I tried one of the crepes, and those almond meal crepes are great. 3 ingredients. It's almond meal, water, and 6 eggs. And I did add a tablespoon or 2 possibly of coconut flour just to give it the right consistency. So we're just going to mix this together. It's really creamy and probably delicious. Add a little bit more Locatelli cheese, which is hard to find in Southern California. So I actually either have it imported from a family member relative, or I drive 30 miles to find it. So now we're going to mix in some of the mozzarella cheese, which has just been grated, and I'm just going to leave enough to top the lasagna so it'll bake. So again, just mix that in. Probably should have used a bigger bowl. And this is going to be one of those recipes where you got to get your hands in there. So that's what it looks like. And now we're just going to start layering this pan. A couple of them have a hole in them, so maybe we'll put them at the bottom. And again, they're round, the pan is square, so there's going to be some overlap, and I almost think I want to overlap it because crepes are pretty thin. So I think I have enough for 3 layers here. Put the worst looking ones on the bottom. Okay, so then I am going to just put some of the ricotta cheese, spread it across. And again, you got to get your hands in there. So you just blop it on and spread it with your hands. Basically try and cover everything up. I think I'd like to get these a little more in the corner, at least this one. I have actually a couple that broke that I'm just going to use for holes, and I just found a little end piece that needs to be there, and another little hole here. So it's not the easiest thing to create, but it's also not the hardest. So then just layer it, just like you had lasagna egg noodles. Spread it, and once you spread that, you're just going to put the ground beef on top of that. And then I'm using my homemade lasagna sauce that I just defrosted from the freezer. I made it on April 1st. And that does have some brown sugar in it, but very little. I make a cauldron of it, and the cauldron of it just has probably 2 tablespoons for the whole gigantic pot. So now we're going to just take some ground beef I will move off the stove so you can see how I'm doing this. It's still warm. Just layer that like any lasagna. Then we're going to cover it with some sauce. And I know I'm probably blocking the camera right now. This is my homemade sauce. So just put that right here. Layer that. And this sauce takes hours to make, and it's got, you know, all the good stuff in it. It's got some ground sirloin, I only use sirloin. It's got onions and garlic and fresh tomatoes, as well as canned Gluten tomatoes, which are organic. Herbs and some red wine. Tomato paste. So that's layered. Now we're just going to put a little more Locatelli cheese. Go with layer number 2 now. Try to do these a little closer to the edge, since it looks like I'm going to have enough. Just overlap them. I think this is going to be a great recipe, even though I'm inventing it as I go. I saw a lot of recipes that called for zucchini and eggplant. I just thought making these crepes would be great. That's the oven is ready. So now we just do it again. Layer the cheese. I'm going to give this layer a healthier portion because it looks like this pan, we used a smaller pan on purpose because I didn't think the crepe recipe would cover the entire pan. Now I wish I would have made the bottom layer a little more covered, since it's the layer that's going to hold all the weight. Just pour this all in. Let me just get here it is, a spatula. Just get it all out and in, right on this layer. Spread it out evenly. Yep, I have no doubts this is going to be fantastic. Low carb, gluten-free, and Atkins diet friendly, or low carb diet friendly. So now we're just going to put some more meat and sauce and cheese, and we're good to go. Use this for the sirloin again. It's going to be a pretty hefty lasagna. I'm almost inclined to unlayer it and layer the bottom a little bit better, but it will be fine. Put all this beef in here. This is 2 pounds of ground sirloin, if I didn't say that. I just fried it and drained it. And it's the exact amount for this size pan. Making a nice healthy lasagna, and it'll be enough for several meals. And this freezes really well as well. I tend to cut it up into pieces and put it in Tupperware, and then put that Tupperware inside a Ziploc bag so it is super sealed. So again, just push down with your hands, get it nice and solid looking. Then I am going to put some sauce over the top. It's really heavy. It probably weighs several pounds. I defrosted the exact amount of sauce I'm going to need for this. Again, just get your hands right in there. Get the sauce in. It's going to be packed with flavor, so even if the crepes did have an almond flavor, it would be overpowered by the Italian flavors in here, but they don't. They're actually really good. So take a bite. Delicious. Good for breakfast. Then I'm going to relayer it.